Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BSing Sports. I apologize. I realize that the banner still says with Talking 215. Our tech guru, Ryan, is on vacation this week hanging out with his mom. So I hope Ryan and his mother are having a great time. But that brings us to Timmy and myself. We're going to give you the NFL predictions for week one of the NFL. As I already said, the NFL predictions. We're going to just switch these screens around. I feel like I should be on the other side. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better for me. That looks a little bit better for me. All right. Yeah, like I said, week one NFL predictions. Not a whole lot to talk about except for how Josh Allen absolutely, completely destroyed the Los Angeles Rams last night. Timmy, how about let's talk about that for a few seconds. How good did Josh Allen look, man?
To be honest, Josh Allen didn't look too good. He threw 3 picks.
He threw 2, and neither of them were his fault. Neither of them were his fault.
All right, so he still threw 2 picks. He threw 2 picks, but let's talk about how bad Jalen Ramsey looked.
Toast. It's the meme going around the internet right now. Jalen Ramsey absolutely lit up. Stephon Diggs, what was it? 11 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown last night.
Yeah, but they wasn't all for Ramsey.
I understand that, but when you're supposed to be like you're supposed to have your own little island out there, and then it turns around and the lead receiver on the opposite team puts up those numbers. If I'm the defensive coordinator in Los Angeles, I got some really, really high raised eyebrows looking at Jalen Ramsey right now.
Most definitely. I know that I saw son on Facebook today. He targeted 7 times, 6 for 7 for like 121 yards and 2 touchdowns.
No, Diggs only had the 1 touchdown.
No, not Diggs. Ramsey.
Oh, you mean specifically Ramsey last night? Yeah, that is true. Yes, he gave up 2 touchdowns last night.
So much for being elite. And 3 years ago, Ramsey called Josh Allen trash.
A bad pick, horrible pick. He didn't understand it. Since then, Josh Allen is 3-0. He's averaging 350 yards passing a game, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So I mean, maybe Josh Allen took that a little bit personally from Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Gary. It's good to see you both. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's get into our predictions. Week one. Let's just fire away. I'll give you the game. You give me your little feedback. You give me your record, and then I'll give you mine. So week one, game one, I've got the Saints versus the Falcons. Go ahead.
I got the Saints winning that. I think, well, we all know the Falcons isn't a good team, so I got the Saints winning. I want to say 31-7. Absolutely blown out game.
31-7. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I totally relate. The Falcons are not a good team. We've discussed this several times in the last couple of weeks. We said that we think the Falcons are going to be fighting for the number 1 overall pick next season. I think it's going to be very evident of that here in this game. I'm not saying that the Saints are above and beyond a phenomenal team. However, they are significantly better than the Falcons. And as a result, I think the Saints win this one handily. 31-14. I think Drake London. Yeah, I think Drake London actually does have a pretty decent role in this game, and Mariota finds ways to make plays in garbage time. And as a result, they get 14 points, so 31-14 Saints for me. Yeah, just so you guys know, it's going to be a quick show here this evening with the predictions. This is what we're going to be doing for the next 18 weeks. I probably should have said that ahead of time. Ryan, Timmy, and I have a gentleman's bet. We're going to be keeping track of our records from week to week, and at the end of the season, we have a surprise for the loser and for the fans, and it'll be nice. Thomas Sutherland, hello, how you doing? There we go. And we have a surprise for the fans. We're not going to tell you what it is, but again, the three of us have a gentleman's bet. Ryan did make his picks. We have it on a document, so we're all good to go there. Game 2, Steelers versus Bengals.
I got the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a better offense, explosive offense. Don't get me wrong. The Steelers defense is dominant with TJ Watt on the right side. Man, he is another freaking nature.
You should be, Stacy. You should be.
But I got the Bengals winning a close game, 21-14.
Oh, you got a close game. All right. Yes, I also have the defending American League or AFC champions. I do that all the time, mixed baseball and football all the time. I also have the defending AFC championship Bengals coming away in this win. I think Mark Trubisky probably gets off to a slightly slower start. I still think Najee Harris runs for over 100 yards. I know that's saying something. But I just think it's going to take a little while for Mitch Trubisky to get
going.
To get going with this wide receiver core. I'm not saying that they're going to be terrible down the stretch. However, as of right now, I think the Bengals are going to come out a little bit hotter. They got a lot of dynamic weapons on the outside. Obviously, you have Joe Mixon at the running back. And for me, it's the Bengals, and I don't think it's a really close game. I've got them winning by 10 points, 27-17.
Okay.
Yeah. Next game, 49ers and Bears.
I got the 49ers winning by a blowout. I think the 49ers –
Gentlemen.
I think the 49ers wants revenge for losing to the Rams in the championship game last year.
They're going to take it out on the Bears?
They're going to take it out on the Bears, first team up. And the Bears aren't going to have nothing to stop them. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to have a game. Debo is going to have a game. Elijah Mitchell is going to have a game. Trey Lance is going to have to throw the ball. That's all he's going to have to do. It's going to be 34-7.
34-7. Okay, so you don't think that Fields and the offense for the Bears get going at all?
I don't. Not this week.
Okay, so I actually agree with this is Ryan, just for you lovely fans out there. I do agree with Ryan. I believe that Trey Lance is going to come out and look better than he had in any of his starts last season. I believe he is going to tear that defense apart. I believe that, as Timmy pointed out, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell are all going to have good games. And no, sir, agree with Timmy. No, Ryan, I got to agree with you, buddy. And it's gonna be a blowout. I do have the Bears getting on the board. I got them getting 10 points, but they're gonna lose by 24 points, 34-10 Niners. Browns Panthers next game. Let's get into the Baker Mayfield redemption game. Browns Panthers.
I got the Panthers over the Browns. I think.
Explain.
Baker's revenge game. You know what he did in the college when they didn't shake hands? Dominated the college game. I don't remember what game it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Oklahoma and some other team.
Yeah, but
the Oklahoma quarterback.
Like Brian said down here, Panthers by 7. I'm about the same. I'm going to say 21-14, 28-21, something like that. I think CMC going to break out 2 touchdowns.
I also have the Panthers, and I also have them winning by 7. However, I don't think I think it's only that close did you hear that notification out of curiosity?
Yeah, yes.
I silenced all the notifications. I'm sorry, fan base. Um,
New computer. You get it yours.
yeah. Sorry, it's a work in progress I'm dealing with here. I'm just gonna mute all notifications real quick. I'm sorry. There we go. That's better. Yes. Again, Panthers by 7. I do think Baker Mayfield gets his redemption. I think he plays very, very well. But the Browns, even with Jacoby Brissett running the offense over there, they still have a really strong running attack. They have Nick Chubb. They have Kareem Hunt. And they still do have Amari Cooper, who is going to play. And the Browns are not going to get blown out by any means in this game. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to the last couple minutes. And again, give me Panthers by 7, 24-17.
Okay.
Next game. You want to talk about this game last, or you want to swing back to them, or you want to just get it out of the way?
Get out of the way.
All right, let's go. Eagles, Eagles versus Lions. Sold out game in Detroit.
I got the Eagles, obviously. But I think it's going to be a closer game than most Eagle fans think. I think that the way the Eagle is active, Ryan. No, I don't say 10-14, but the Lions, the offensive line is hurt. Don't get me wrong, the offensive line is hurt. Vitae, the starting center, out. The defense, it's got better with Aiden Hutchinson, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Product. Attaboy. There you go. I was wondering if you knew.
But I got the Lions coming out hot, but cooling off. So I got the Eagles winning 21-10.
Okay, I have a completely different take on that. I love what the Lions did in the offseason drafting Aiden Hutchinson. I like that they brought in a couple of other pieces to make them slightly better. However, they know that they're still in a rebuild. They know that they're at the bottom of the barrel. They know that they're going to be in competition for one of the top 10 picks in the NFL draft next season. Having said that, the Eagles went out and they made way better additions. Obviously, we've talked about this in extent several times. A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick, Kazir White, James Bradbury, Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Like the additions that the Eagles made on top of the talent that they already showed towards the end of the last year, I don't think this game is close at all. I think the Lions only get 10 points against our defense, and I think the Eagles score 38.
So my problem is the Eagles didn't play the starters in the preseason, so I think they're going to come out rusty.
And what did the Bills do last night?
You're right. Fair enough.
The Bills came out super cold in the first half and then lit Super Bowl champions, not the Lions, the Super Bowl champions on fire in the second half.
You're right.
38-10, Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Ravens, Jets. Joe Flacco starting for the Jets, visiting his old team.
I got the Ravens.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I think the Jets made many improvements during the offseason. They probably had the best draft season they had in a while. But I think the Ravens and Lamar Jackson gets too good. Lamar don't have a contract yet, and he's going to be playing for a contract. And they're going to blow the Jets out by at least 17 or more.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Lamar Jackson's contract talk faltered there in Baltimore earlier this afternoon. There was a deadline of today, and they couldn't get it done. He wanted, I think it was 8 years and a ton of money, and they refused to give it to him.
$200 million guaranteed, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like a $280 million contract, 200 of it guaranteed, and the Ravens refused to do it. Now, right now he's playing, and I expect him to play. However, I am going to bring up this little Nah, I'm not going to bring that up. Never mind. But as such, I think he's disgruntled right now. You're talking 2 days removed from not getting the contract that he thinks he deserves. I think he comes out really, really sluggish here in this game, and the game is closer than people think. I think it's only a 10-point win. I got 27-17 Ravens. I still think, obviously, J.K. Dobbins comes out and he looks really good. Gus Edwards is off the pup, so he looks like he's going to be playing. And then, you don't have Hollywood in Baltimore anymore. However, Rashad Bateman seems to be having really good chemistry with Lamar Jackson there. And in the second half, just like in the Eagles game, I think the Ravens kind of pull away in the second half, but it'll be close. I think a lot of these games will be close in the first half. Like we saw last night, teams are rusty. A lot of teams didn't play their starters. But that's just my take on it. 27-17 Ravens. Patriots, Dolphins, and AFC East rivals. Patriots, Dolphins. Bill Belichick going to Miami. What do you got?
Dolphins by 10. 21. I'm sorry, not 21. 27-17. I think Bill Belichick will be out of a job 3/4 of the way to the season.
We have a special guest joining us, except he's not that special. I'm just going to throw him in the room.
Ryan said don't do it.
Literally sent a text.
Yeah, he said
Why
don't.
join if you're not going to jump on?
You just invited me into the show. You might as well run with it at this point.
What up, Ryan? How
I
you
just
doing?
got the text message. Like,
I'm doing okay.
Dolphins, Patriots, what you take?
Dolphins. Where's it at?
it's in Miami.
Dolphins
Miami,
by
yeah.
10.
Dolphins by 10. I've got Dolphins by 18, 28-10 victory. I mean, the addition of Tyreek Hill, I know Tua is still Tua. And we obviously aren't very high on Tua, and I get that. But
I like Tua.
I'm against Tua. But Tyreek Hill is going to make Tua better, hands down. Gesicki is not a bad tight end by any means necessary. Let's not forget the name of Jalen Waddle down there. Their defense isn't bad. They're a pretty set team. We discussed it last week, second in the division. And yeah, I got a what did I have? 27-10 victory for the Dolphins. I had a 28-10 victory for the Dolphins over the Patriots.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this. Who has more of a chance of being a starting quarterback next year, Jared Goff or Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa.
I was just curious.
That's not a curiosity. Come on, man. I've been relatively down on Jared Goff as well.
No, you're on record saying that he has a chance to hold a starting job next year. Actually, you're higher on Jared Goff than everybody else is.
That's
is
fair.
true.
You're right, and I still think that's a possibility. I don't take that away. Next game. First of all, let's talk to you for a little bit, Ryan. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hanging out with my mom. She's definitely not on the couch listening awkwardly as I'm live on YouTube and other channels, but that's fine. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. You didn't think we were doing a good enough job? You had to jump on?
Actually, I hadn't hardly watched any of it, man. I caught like 2 minutes of it. I was out at the dog park with Doc, but he's passed out, so I figured I could hop on for a little bit, talk some sports.
That sounds good.
I missed the beginning part. I seen Stacy's comments, so I'm assuming you guys went over the pool that we got going on.
I went over that, and I didn't mention what we're doing. I just said it's a surprise for the fan base.
It is. Did you create the document for that yet, so I can put my predictions on there?
No. I'll just share the one that I made for my picks today, and then we can do it that way.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll just copy and paste mine to yours.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then yeah, all right. So let's move on. Welcome back, Ryan. Jaguars versus Commanders. It is in Washington.
Commanders.
Timmy.
I got Commanders by 7.
Elaborate.
I think
This isn't 20 questions. Elaborate.
I think it's a revenge game for Carson Wentz against Doug Peterson. And I think Carson Wentz will come out on fire. Terry McLaurin going to have over 100 yards, a touchdown. Gibson going to prove to Riverboat that he is a starting running back and should be the running back. And he's going to get a touchdown or two. So I think it's going to be still relatively a good game. Close game, I want to say 28-21, high-scoring game.
Ryan.
I got 2017 for the Commanders. I do think Carson Wentz, third time's the charm here. Obviously, he's been abandoned by the Colts and the Eagles, respectively. But also on top of that, Jacksonville was the team that kept the Colts from going into the playoffs last year. So I think that's a little bit of an extra added incentive for Carson Wentz. Truthfully, though, I don't think that I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a good team. I think they have a good coach, and I think that they'll, when it comes to lesser opponents, lose a lot of close games. I don't think that they would lose a close game to the Eagles, but I think to the Commanders, I think they could lose a close game. So yeah, 2017 about that. I don't think either offense is too fantastic to score a lot of points.
Yeah, the three of us are right in the same realm. I actually have 21-17 in favor of the Commanders. taking the Carson Wentz thing into account, taking the Doug Peterson thing into account, taking the Jaguars knocking the Redskins out of the playoffs thing into account, I just think there's too much there for the Jaguars to overcome. And I'm not saying Carson Wentz in any way, shape, or form lights the world on fire. However, I do expect him to come out and be efficient, a game manager, as we typically call it. I agree with Terry McLaurin probably goes for over 100 and a touchdown. But I think that the X factor here is going to be Antonio Gibson. Like Timmy said, I think there's going to be something to prove on Gibson's shoulder coming out of training camp. He was not the starter. And then the extremely unfortunate event for Brian Robinson happens. And then now Ron Rivera is like, oh, yeah, no, we were always going to go with Antonio Gibson. But I'm sure there's locker room talk that was not the case. And I think he's got something to prove. So for me, Antonio Gibson is probably going to be the X factor in this game, and he's going to help Carson Wentz, going to help the receiving core, and as a result, the Commanders come out on top 21-17.
I think Antonio Gibson proves why Brian Robinson's going to be the better running back over the next 2 weeks.
Fumbles.
Okay.
Fumbles, inefficiency.
Okay.
We'll see. Let's see. Colts visiting the Texans.
Colts. I think the Colts are the better team in general. Matt Ryan coming there, he's gonna have something to prove to the Colts that he's good. He's not washed up. Yeah, he's old, but he can make the throw that he needs to throw. And Jonathan Taylor gonna run all over that defense for the Houston Texans. So I got the 21-3.
Texans by 3.
Ooh.
One key factor that's overlooked by a lot of just, regular fans. It's hard to win on the road in the NFL. It is very hard to win. I don't care how bad that team is. Same thing with the Eagles. Bill and I are in a fantasy league where the chat's just blowing up that the Eagles are going to destroy the Lions by 40 points. Like, guys, it's so hard to win in the NFL on the road. I don't think you understand that. To expect a blowout to me is ludicrous. And, maybe thinking an upset is equally as ludicrous, but I think that there's a higher chance of the Texans winning at home than, the Colts coming in and blowing them out. I mean, hell, we all thought the Colts were going to win Week 18 last year in Jacksonville, and that didn't happen. So yeah. I got the Texans by 3. I think they shocked the world. I think that team, they play a little bit of smash mouth football, and I think that, the Colts have a hard time stopping the run between Dameon Pierce, and I think Rex Burkhead has a decent game coming out of the backfield too. I think Davis Mills takes care of the football, and Matt Ryan just can't bring him back. So I'm going to go ahead and say 24-21, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I also have 24-21. I expected a close game because, as you pointed out, it's difficult to blow a team out on the road. But I still expect the Colts to come out on top. I think, again, running back here is the big deal for me, Jonathan Taylor. I'm not saying he's going to have the season he had last year, but I think he starts extremely hot and people start that rumor. And I don't think the Texans are going to be able to stop him.
Nobody thought Kupp would have the year he had last year, and he's off to a fantastic start.
So Diggs.
All good points, but for me, it's the Colts coming out on top. I think, like I said, the running back position is going to be a big deal. I think Pierce has a good game for the Texans as well. As you pointed out, Colts defense is not phenomenal, not by any stretch, which is why I think this game is a lot closer than other people think it is. I've seen it everywhere that the Colts are going to win by 17 to 21 points, and I just don't see it. So 24-21 Colts.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
This is a good game, division game. It's part of that AFC West that's super, super strong. We got the Raiders visiting the Chargers.
Yeah, Ryan, go first. No, Ryan, go first. I always go first.
Man, this is a coin flip. I'm going to go ahead and say the Chargers, but I'm not 100% confident in that answer. And I'd be even less confident in, obviously, the Raiders. But I think 35-31. I think those AFC West games are just going to be complete shootouts. I mean, they're all offense. Yeah, the Chargers improved their defense some, but this is an offense league. So I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, I don't think it really matters what the matchup is. I think they're all going to be through the roof. 35-31, really just because the Chargers are at home. I'm going to think that they, somehow pull that game out, but wouldn't shock me if it went the other way. Same score.
Tim?
I have the Chargers close, 21-17, something like that. But I think the Chargers head coach makes the right calls in the fourth quarter, unlike last year. So I think they're going to get that revenge to the Raiders in the first week. So that's why I think I got the Chargers 21-17.
That's a pretty low scoring game.
Yeah, that's awfully low. I'm curious now. It's a bit of a hot take.
I got a 34-31 victory for the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. I think the addition of Devontae Adams will open up a little bit of more opportunity for Hunter Renfrow. I'm not sure if Waller is playing. I don't think it's been announced yet. He's officially questionable, but I think he might play. If he does, same thing. Devontae Adams being on the field opens up more space for Darren Waller. You're talking Josh Jacobs is still a really good running back. We've discussed it several times. He's really going to be good at getting downfield and making that Charger defense really be on the heels a little bit. And Derek Carr is going to protect the football, and he's going to do the right things. And I've got the Raiders winning 34-31, and I would not be surprised if it went the exact same score the other way. Just like Ryan said, coin flip. This division is going to be nuts. But yeah,
Waller's not on the injury report for week 1, so he's good to go.
There you go. So for me, yeah, Raiders 34-31. Packers Vikings, another divisional game, NFC North. Packers Vikings. Tim.
So the Packers still have the MVP from the last 2 years, but they lost Devontae Adams. They got Aaron Jones, who's a good pass catching running back out the backfield, and AJ Dillon, a pretty good pass catching running back out the backfield too. But I think the Vikings had the better overall offense than the Packers. So they got Justin Jefferson, was probably the most talented wide receiver, or the top 3. I think Kirk Cousins managed the game better this year than he has in the past, because he was throwing the ball more than running every play to give Dalvin Cook the ball. I think Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen both get a touchdown, and Dalvin Cook gets one. It's going to be a close matchup. I want to say 24-21.
You got some low-scoring games in your predictions there, Tim.
I got more faith in defenses than offense.
That's fair.
We offensive-minded individuals. He's a defensive-minded individual.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Packers here by 3. It's as much as I raved about Kevin O'Connell going to the Vikings and how he's going to change the offense and how Justin Jefferson's just going to absolutely blow up this year and all their weapons. I can't realistically look myself in the mirror after not seeing that team play one game yet and bet against Aaron Rodgers because of that offense, of what it looks like on paper. I got to see them first. So if I'm making a prediction, if I'm walking into Vegas, putting the money on Rodgers, I don't care if it's on the road. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. His plaque's made up in Canton. It's just waiting for him to retire. That's just kind of where that lies. The Vikings could have all the talent in the world. Rodgers is going to pick that defense apart. Somebody, whether it's Lazard, whether it's Christian Watson, whether it's Romeo Doubs, whether it's Robert Tonyan, who's actually going to play week 1, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, they'll find a way to make those guys just win ball games. That's just that, because that's what he's going to have to do all year. So I give the Packers by 3.
I have a 31-28 game going to the Vikings simply because the Vikings are at home. And it's that basic. If this game was in Lambeau, I would go 31-28 in favor of the Packers. However, because it's in Minnesota, I'm going 31-28 in favor of the Vikings. All the stuff that you guys said is absolutely true. Dalvin Cook is still a really good running back. Justin Jefferson is probably one of the best 3 wide receivers in all of football. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Devontae Adams, stuff like that. And Adam Thielen is still no slouch. I know he's aging, 32 years old, I believe he is this season. Still, he's aging. They did add, and I know as Eagles fans, we don't want to attest that Rager is anything enormous. However, sometimes people just need a change of scenery, and Jalen Rager was a first-round draft pick right in front of Justin Jefferson. They have both those wide receivers on the offense now. And I'm not saying Rager comes out and he lights the world on fire by any means. However, I think that he is a distraction because he is fast. So you send him up the field, maybe opposite of Justin Jefferson, you draw a safety that direction, and then you air it out for Jets to do his thing. So for me, being in Minnesota is a big deal. 31-28 in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't believe that Jalen Rager needs to be on the field, quite frankly, for Justin Jefferson to be good. It's the same effect that Cooper Kupp has at this point. He's going to get the ball. He's going to be thrown open. He's going to be forced open. He's going to be forced fed the ball, regardless of who else is on the field.
I agree with that take as well. I just thought anybody who can also spread the safeties out is help in any way.
Yeah, Thielen will get his too. He'll have a good game.
Next game, New York Giants visiting the Tennessee Titans. Ryan.
I'm pretty sure we all have the same thought on this game.
All right, let's move past it quick then.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's going to take over the game. I think Ryan Tannehill plays well enough. 2-touchdown game easily. I think the Giants just can't keep pace. I'll say 24-10, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans open it up more.
Tim.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan what he said, but I do think Barkley has a game. He has something to prove, that he's not injury prone, that he's gonna get his touches this year with the new offensive coach. But I also have the Titans by 14 to 10 points, 24 to 10, something like that.
I don't think the Giants score a touchdown. 24-3.
Okay.
It's in the realm of outcomes.
Chiefs visiting the Arizona Cardinals.
So Rondell Moore is out, officially out as of 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Ankle problem. Zach Ertz has a problem with his groin, so he might not play. That's a game time decision. Kyler Murray, he still has talent. He's going to be running all over the field. But with D-Hop out, with Rondell Moore out, they got only Hollywood Brown, so they're going to double team him basically. So I think I have the Chiefs over the Cardinals. It's going to be a high-scoring game because I don't like either of the defenses. It's going to be 34-31, Chiefs.
Game at Arrowhead or in Arizona?
It's in Arizona.
Okay, not that mattered much to me. I think the Chiefs win by at least 7 points, so I'll go with that just because they're on the road. But I think it looks worse than that. I could see a late garbage time touchdown by the Cardinals. I'm going to say 35-28, but I think the Chiefs' offense is OP, and without D-Hop, without Ertz, without Rondell Moore, Kyler Murray and Marquise Hollywood Brown going to be asked to do a lot in the passing game because, quite frankly, they're not going to be able to run the ball like that and keep up with the Chiefs at the same time. So I believe that I just don't think they have the firepower to keep up with the Chiefs, despite the Chiefs losing Tyreek Hill in the offseason.
34-24. As you guys pointed out, the Chiefs are clearly the better team, even visiting in Arizona there. And as you pointed out, all the injuries in Arizona are going to cause problems for Kyler Murray. I think I don't like the Chiefs defense. I'm not about to say that. However, I do still think Kyler Murray is going to be running for his life because he's going to be looking for one guy. And as Timmy pointed out, he's going to be double teamed. So he's going to be running for his life in the backfield. So again, 34-24 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. We will move on to the Sunday night football game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Tim.
So last season, the first game of the season was the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And the Buccaneers won. It was a close game, I think, if I remember correctly, but I'm not too sure.
It was.
But I think Tampa Bay is going to go into Dallas and give Dallas a whooping because Tom Brady's last year, and they want to win it for Tom Brady. I think it's going to be 21-10.
Ryan.
So last year, the Cowboys wildly outplayed the Buccaneers. They forced 4 turnovers in the very first game of the season and still lost by a field goal, or was it by 2 points? I think it was 31-29. I don't see those same kind of mistakes being made by a Tom Brady-led team again, and I think that game opens up because of it. Also, you factor in the loss of Amari Cooper on the Dallas offensive side. I think that this very well could be a 10-point game, 31-21, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think the Bucs kind of take this one handily this year.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Four turnovers for a Tom Brady team is not something that you hear very often. As a matter of fact, I think it happened one time in his career, in his last year to start the season. And it doesn't happen again. So again, like Ryan, like you said, the Buccaneers handled this one pretty well. Fournette controls the clock on the ground. Brady does what Brady does. And yeah, I've got a 31-14 victory, 31-17 victory in favor of the Buccaneers. And again, like Ryan said on the last game, I don't think this one is that close, really. I could see a garbage time touchdown putting them to the 17-point mark. So 31-17 in favor of the Buccaneers. Moving on to Monday Night Football. You have Russell Wilson of the Broncos visiting his former team in Seattle Seahawks. Who do you got,
Um,
Ryan? Right.
Yeah, this is not going to be some kind of revenge tour for the Seahawks. They're going to rightfully get stomped on. This is going to be at least 2, maybe 3 score game. I mean, you think about the 12th man in Seattle. It's a hard environment to play. Fortunately for Russell Wilson, I'm pretty sure he just spent the last 11 years there, I think it was. So I don't think that'll be a big issue for him. And they'll probably give him some warm welcome, nice little reception. So go ahead and give me the Broncos by a significant margin. Would not surprise me if this was the biggest blowout of the week. Not one bit. Even worse than Thursday night.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan. It's going to be absolutely blown out. Don't get me wrong. I like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, but I think the Broncos defense is really good. I'm going to lock them 2 wide receivers down. So I got the Broncos winning big, 21-3. I don't think the Seahawks are going to score any.
This is not going to be a close game. As Ryan pointed out, Russell Wilson's spent the last 12 years in Seattle. He's used to the stadium. He's used to the field. He's used to the crowd. And I believe Geno Smith has been named starter. Am I correct there? Geno Smith? Yeah. In terms of effectiveness, I just don't see it against this defense. Ryan already said it. It's probably going to be the biggest blowout of the week. I got a 42-17 victory for the Broncos.
It's in the realm of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So those are our week 1 predictions. Join us here on Tuesday night where we talk about how bad we were.
Yeah. Let's see how many of these we actually get right.
Yeah.
Like I said, fellas, I will share this document with you. As I said at the top of the broadcast, we were going to have a quick show tonight. 38 minutes, I think, is perfect. So either of you have anything before we sign off?
You said Tuesday for the recap, right?
Yes.
Tuesday, yes, sir. Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Be there.
Let's go Eagles.
You know what? Let's make it 6:30 because my new job has me working 9 to I think 5. Let's do it 6:30.
Sure.
Yeah,
6:30.
Tuesday at 6:30. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us here on. I'm gonna have to try and do what Ryan usually does. Give me just a second. Hang on. Let me get this ready. Here we go. Thank you for joining us here on BSing Sports, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. You guys have a great night.